Russia's been threatening to retaliate against Western sanctions. One apparent proposal would be to nationalise the assets of companies that are more than 25% owned by countries that are deemed unfriendly. Well, you can put Mercedes-Benz in that category, and Mercedes-Benz has $2.2 billion in assets that Russia could now be in jeopardy. A factory outside of Moscow, 6 subsidiary companies operating across the country, 1,000 employees. Ola Källenius is the chief executive of Mercedes-Benz. He joins me from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We have a very bad delay, sir. I know why you're in Alabama. It's about your new factory and your new battery plant. We will get to that once we've dealt with this bigger question. You were very quick to pull out of Russia. Are you now getting ready if your assets, are seized?
Well, Richard, it's good to be with you today. We made the decision in this very, very, very difficult and terrible war that's going on in Ukraine that we would stop exporting vehicles to Russia and also ramp down our production. We really have to see how things develop. I don't want to speculate on what might happen next. But right now we're a little bit in a holding pattern.
If you're in this holding pattern, waiting to see, do you think it's important that CEOs of major companies, and indeed major companies themselves, make it clear where they stand? In other words, it's not business as usual. You're not rushing back the first day this war ends, that there is been a change in the way you now view doing business in that country. Is that fair?
Well, as a European, I think you have to be very concerned about what's going on in the Ukraine. And that's why we made the decision as a company to stop exporting and also ramp down our production. Of course, everybody is hopeful that there will be some kind of a de-escalation and negotiated solution, that things will take a better turn from here. But the way it looks like right now, we felt that this was in the best interest of our company to do this.
Let's talk about, we'll come back to this in just a second. Let's talk about why you are in Alabama with the rollout of some new vehicles and also a battery plant, because this goes to this heart. This goes to this heart of I was talking about a moment ago with the European Energy Commissioner, that we are going to dramatically have to rethink the way we use energy and fossil fuels, oil and gas. And that's what this is all about, isn't it?
It is indeed. We as Mercedes-Benz, we have made a clear strategic decision to go all in on electrification. It's about decarbonizing our complete business. And for us, building cars, it means electric vehicles. That's why we're here in Alabama today announcing that we're starting production of our new electric SUVs, and we're putting more than $1 billion into investment, building up a brand new battery factory here, and converting this plant of luxury SUVs also into electric vehicles. So on the path towards a CO2 neutral future, as you say, it is about an energy transition. And for us, the obvious choice is then to change the powertrain from a combustion-based one towards electric.
Do you get the feeling that with what's happened in Russia, Ukraine, it's sort of made us all wake up? In a sense, and I put myself in that category as well. Not that we had become complacent about energy, we'd become complacent about peace, we'd become complacent about the status quo. And although we've had dramatic financial crises, this is the first time we've really had to look inside and question certain fundamentals. Would you agree?
With regard to ultimate decarbonization, going to CO2 neutrality, I think we were already awake. We as a company, definitely. We already made 3 years ago the very clear commitment with our so-called Ambition 2039 that we are going to be CO2 neutral 10 years ahead of the Paris Agreement. So the overriding strategic decision and discussion here is getting off of fossil and making sure that we reduce the risk of climate change. A thing like the Ukraine is a wake-up call in terms of energy security for Europe, where you suddenly see how dependent Europe is, and maybe that you strategically need to address that. But our journey into electrification started before this and hasn't really changed. That is a firm decision that we are implementing.